Is science the ultimate source of truth, or just a tool with limits? Most of us are taught that if it can't be proven in a lab, it simply isn't real. But Cliffe Knechtle thinks differently. In this 18-minute deep dive, Cliffe challenges the foundation of scientism, the belief that science is the only way to know reality. From the mystery of human morality to the logic behind the universe, he exposes the gaps that a microscope can't fill. If you've ever felt like there's more to life than just atoms and energy, pay close attention. Let's see why science might not have all the answers.
I am the greatest.
Where did religion come from? I mean, even I think Marx said religion is the opiate of the masses. I mean, where did this come from? This is a fairly, designed belief, much like a poem would be.
Okay, good question. Science is a study of material, physical reality, process. Science is a tremendous study. Science can be used to find a cure for cancer. Science can be used to figure out how to blow more people to bits quicker. Religion is a tremendous study of the existence of God. Religion can be used to help people live better lives. Religion can be used to justify slaughtering people. Just because religion has been used at times as the opiate of the mass tells you nothing about God's existence. It tells you a lot about the warped wickedness of people, that they would even use God to justify manipulation of people.
I mean, where would it originate from, though? I mean,
the human heart. Where does science being used to destroy human beings originate? In the human heart, in the human mind. Where does religion being used to destroy people originate? It originates the same place, in the human heart, the human mind.
Well, science is originating from a purpose, right? To solve a problem, or if there's not a problem, to defend, or under the claim of, or guise of defense, to make some destructive force, whatever, right? What is religion? I mean, to me, it would have to be thought of as a purpose, right?
Okay. Purpose of science is to get in touch with reality, material, physical reality. Purpose of religion is to get in touch with the creator of material reality, the creator of life.
Why are there so many religions then?
Because we as human beings can create God in our own image, according to our own biases and preferences. We can create God in order to justify our agenda, be it the agenda of a nationalist, be it the agenda of a particular race. We can use God to justify just about anything.
I guess, lastly, I mean, what if a person wants to live a good life? I'm an atheist, or I guess agnostic. I don't know or really care if there's a God or not. My only problem is I don't like organized religion. I think it's used as I see it often used as a guise to for other purposes. But if someone wants to live a good life, treat others as they would like to be treated, and that's common sense, right? If you do something to someone else, they're obviously going to seek repercussions for it. So if someone wants to live that, I don't live a hedonistic lifestyle by any means. Why? I mean, yesterday seemed to have been coming down very hard on people that had atheism as a belief. I guess if you believe in nothing.
What I meant to communicate was, if I stand here and tell you that I believe in Jesus, and then after I finish speaking, you watch me go out and womanize, you watch me go out and hate people, I hope you'll point your finger at me and say, Cliffe, you're a hypocrite. You told me that you believe in Jesus, but then you go out and womanize, you go out and hate people. Obviously, Christ commanded his followers to live sexually pure lives and to love and respect all people. Cliffe, you're a hypocrite. You'd be right. What I'm saying is, if a person tells me, Cliffe, I'm an atheist, but then they live their life as if, that is absolutely evil. That is absolutely good. That's intellectual hypocrisy. If the atheist lives their life as if there's real meaning to my life, that's intellectual hypocrisy.
Well, certainly, I mean, humanity, to further humanity, to better humanity, I mean, that's part of what a species does when they evolve, is monkeys, right? I mean, if one member of the bunch is attacked, the other ones defend it. Why? Even though they could be in harm's way, for the good of the group, for the good of their humanity, for the good of their species. right? What's wrong with living your life to for the good of humanity, to do something
Nothing
good
wrong.
for people?
Nothing wrong at all. But just be willing to acknowledge that if I, a fellow atheist, say to you, because of the survival of the fittest, I want to wipe out all handicapped people. Just understand that I'm not wrong. I've created my own meaning. My own meaning is we have limited natural resources, limited food resources. Well, therefore, I want to wipe out handicapped people so that those of us who are stronger can proliferate. That's not incorrect. It's not evil.
It's just well outside the bounds set forth by society, though.
Oh, maybe your society, but there are obviously other societies that say,
If you live in those societies, then I hope you're not handicapped.
yeah, exactly. If you're a little baby on the wrong side of the birth canal in this society, watch out. Hurry up and get to the other side of the birth canal. Because if you get to the other side of the birth canal, you're safe. If you stay on the inside of the birth canal, you're in trouble.
That's the society.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're an atheist, you've got to acknowledge it's all relative. Society writes the rules. So if one society writes one set of rules, another society writes a rule that if you're Jew, you're inferior to an Aryan, or if you happen to be born into a lower caste system, you're inferior to those in a higher caste. Or if you happen to be born black in South Africa, well, you're just going to be part of apartheid.
Or in America in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're born African American in the United States. Too bad if it happens to be 1920. It's even worse if it's 1860. It's all relative. All I want you atheists to do is to realize that Camus and Sartre and Nietzsche and the great atheistic philosophers are correct when they point out, because there is no God, life is absurd, morality is relative, and death is the end. When we die, we become fertilizer. So when your buddy dies, please don't have a meeting where you talk about he's okay. Please don't have a meeting where you say, we might see each other again someday. Please don't talk about his spirit being somewhere. Let's be real honest. The guy's decomposing, he's becoming fertilizer. That's the whole story.
Well, I mean, to me, that's the way the cycle goes round.
Good.
If someone dies at a funeral, you talk about the good things that they've done. You let the people know the good that they've done in their lives. That's what their life was about.
I respect you. Very good. The majority of the atheists who I meet inevitably make some very clear moral statements about what is right and what is wrong. The majority of atheists that I meet make some very clear statements about the significance and the dignity of human life. The majority of atheists that I meet talk about the purpose of life. That's intellectual hypocrisy.
Well, you're divining right and wrong by the standards that you're using from religion to say this is good and this is evil. Someone else, an atheist, and anybody of any religion can have their own viewpoints of this is right and this is wrong. So to
Sure.
say that
Their
to
own
say that
viewpoint.
they're going to make some firm statements of this is right and this is wrong, that's an opinion, just as anything else is basically.
No, you've got to realize that if my worldview as a theist is correct, then this woman and that man have innate dignity, intrinsic value, because they have been created by God for a purpose. And that is why when I tell you your sexist attitude is absolutely wrong, I have a basis, a reason for saying that. Your racist, sexist attitude is dehumanizing, which is based on the innate understanding that human beings have innate value. And the only way they can have innate value is if they've been given innate value by their creator.
Why can't an atheist say your racist, sexist attitude is wrong? Because it's degrading to someone who's then going to go and proliferate this same action to other people, who's going to lower their self-esteem, and it's going to affect humanity. Why
You
can't
can
it be
say that.
that?
You can say that, but what you have to acknowledge is, when I as an atheist say that this woman has value, that is a total bias, a total prejudice. For in reality, she is just a glorified collection of atoms, evolved to a higher order. That's reality.
You don't find any value in that? I mean, that's certainly, an atheist wouldn't find value in that. To say, I'm an atheist, I can watch a waterfall, I can go and look at a butterfly, I can go and look at a bird, be like, that's amazing. That's amazing. That has intrinsic beauty to it, right? Not because I think that someone of a higher order, of a higher intellect than me created it, Well, because that's the way it is. And I'm here, I might as well enjoy it, right?
But what you have to realize is you cannot start with saying she's an accident and based on that say she has innate intrinsic value.
Well, what are you calling value? That's, I mean, what
She has worth,
monetary? What are you claiming?
dignity, significance,
Worth? Significance?
worth,
I'm an atheist.
value.
People that are significant to me, they have significance. Why is?
But no. That's just an illusion that you place on them.
It's an illusion. There's no significance. If my friend dies tomorrow and he becomes fertilizer, as you know, that's
Yeah.
what I would believe.
Uh-huh.
Then, you know, that has no worth to me. This person is of only a
Person has worth, but the only basis for their worth is your feelings that they have worth. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. What are you talking about, Cliff? I have chosen to believe that I am the greatest. That's interesting, Cliff. What's the basis for your belief? My belief. That's the basis of my belief. I choose to believe I am the greatest.
Well,
Cliff, you're
about
taking
all the
a
evidence?
trip into La La Land. Oh, no. No, it's my genuine belief. I am the greatest. Cliff, why? Why do you claim to be the greatest? Because I feel it. You understand? I feel it. An atheist is saying human beings have value and dignity. Really? Why? If atheism tells the whole story, all this woman is, her number came up in a Monte Carlo game. She is a chance freak accident, sir. Now we can get all sentimental and sloppy over each other and say, wow, you know, you are so precious. You are so valuable. You have so much dignity. The question is why? Well, because I feel this way. Don't you feel this way? And that's what Camus, Sartre, and Nietzsche nail all over the place. And I respect them highly. I think they're absolutely correct.
Well, certainly I find value in myself. You know, I have self-worth. I have high self-esteem.
Because you give it to yourself.
Oh, certainly.
That's all it is.
It's not.
Well, guess what?
Well,
I tell you that I'm the greatest.
It's better than saying, please, you know, God, will you?
Oh, no.
Self-worth,
If
because
in
that's the only way I
reality,
can have it.
if in reality you were created for a purpose, then like it or not, you do have value. And if in reality you were created for a purpose, you had a dignity, and if you were given this value by God and I deny it, then I'm out of touch with reality.
Purpose defines something that my purpose, my free will. What if my free will, you know, my life is just based around my free will. So what is there some order?
Sure. If you're an atheist, how can you have free will?
No, I'm saying this is in your definition of, you know, God gave us free will.
Yes, that's
But
right.
we have a purpose. He has a plan for us.
Yes.
That we're just supposed to blindly run into by our own free will.
No. He's given you a
How are we
conscience.
supposed to get there?
He's given you a conscience, and you better watch out. You date rape, and you're violating the purpose for which God gave you your sexuality. You get into pornography, you're violating the purpose for which God gave you your sexuality. You steal, you're violating the purpose for which God gave you your rational mind. You study hard, you help people get ahead, and you're honoring the plan, the purpose for which God gave you. To love and respect people.
What if I'm just bettering humanity? I don't see how
Fine,
you
go
can
ahead
look
and do it as an
down on
atheist.
I don't see how you can look down. There's like you're standing on a perch saying, atheist down here. God told me I'm great. I'm up here.
I'm sorry, I gotta take a course in communication. That was the last thing I meant to communicate to you, sir. I'm sorry, I really have failed. I have failed you. I can promise you, sir, it had nothing to do with me standing up and looking down on an atheist. I thought I started my whole discussion with you, sir, on the whole point of hypocrisy. If I say that I believe in Jesus Christ, but then I go out and live my life womanizing, hating, what would you call me? A hypocrite. Why? Because I say that I believe something, but then by my lifestyle, I contradict what I believe. I am not looking down on any atheist. I'm simply saying, I'm going to hold you atheists to be consistent. If you tell me there is no God, then you cannot argue that human beings have real, true, innate value.
I disagree with that.
Well, then read Camus, Sartre, Nietzsche, any of the great atheistic philosophers. They point it out far better than I ever can. Camus begins L'Étranger with the words of a young teenage boy. Yesterday, mother died. Or was it today? Who cares when mom died? Death simply ends the absurdity that birth began.
But what
He's
is that?
right, sir. He's right on. If there is no God, you are a bubble floating on a sea of nothingness. Ernest Hemingway put it this way: if your birth is an accident and your death is an accident, guess what lies between those two acts? Another act, your life.
No?
Do you follow the logic or do you not follow the logic?
Granted, certainly persons have conscience, right? We can rationalize something, we can come to means. So for me as an atheist, it just seems that Christianity as a whole, or not Christianity, any organized religion as a whole. I'm not familiar with all the religions, so this is basing purely around Christianity. I grew up in the Bible Belt. Is that the people that I saw rationalized their behavior, the way that they treated others, and the way that they could look at other people by God, by being religious, by saying that this is, I've accepted Jesus. I'm going to be saved. For an atheist, that's what they believe. They have to answer to God. For the atheist, whatever he or she believes, they only have to answer, well, other than society, they only have to answer to themselves, right? If I do something wrong, who is going to make me feel bad about it? Am I going to say, God told me that's wrong, I should feel bad? I'm going to say, no, that's something that's outside of my moral guidelines that I've assessed for myself.
Right.
I don't want to do this again. That's something that I don't consider as quality. There's certainly something, it's in The Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It's a good book where he talks about quality, the quality of something. It doesn't have to do anything with God or religion or anything else. It's the quality. How you look at something, how you react to something else. You know, to say that I can't have or don't have value for anyone else is completely absurd. That's like saying that a persons can't have value for animals. The persons can't have value for, because, I mean, dogs, as far as I know, in Christianity, dogs, cats don't have a soul. But you don't look at the dog and cat and say, they're worthless, they have no worth. You don't look at any animal and say that.
Sir, the debate right now that we're having has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It has to do with atheism, no God, versus theism. That's where we are.
I'm just basing it around a particular religion that I've come in contact with.
All right, fine. Then if you want to do atheism and Christianity, we'll do that. My point remains the same. If you're going to say there is no God, you can give anything value that you want to. You can give the dog value, you can give the human being value. But what you have to acknowledge is they do not have value in themselves. Their value comes from you. And if you choose to say they're valuable, then for you they have value. But in their own being, in their own essence, they do not have innate intrinsic value. For they just are an accidental collection of atoms.
But from your standpoint, they have value because I believe God said they have value.
False. And that's dishonest. That is dishonest, sir. I, as a follower of Christ, do not believe that this man has value because I believe he's got value. Instead, because I believe there's a God, and this God has revealed that he has created this man for a reason, for a purpose. Therefore, this man has value. Now, I have to learn to treat the man with the value that God has given him. See, that's a view of reality that says his value has nothing to do with my belief.